Hello everyone. In the previous session we have discussed about some of the accounting concept. Now in this session we will discuss the remaining accounting concept. So we'll continue with revenue recognition concept. Recognition means realization. So as we know, revenue is earned by sale of goods or providing a services. It is also the amount added to the capital as a result of business operation. So here the concept of revenue recognition means the time or the particular period in which the revenue is realized. Revenue is said to be realized when the ownership of goods has been transferred to the purchaser and when he has legally become liable to pay the amount. And it should be noted that the revenue recognition is not related with the receipt of cash. For example, if a firm gets an order of goods on 1st January and supplies the goods on 20th January and receive the cash on 1st April, the revenue will be earned on 20th January as the ownership of goods was transferred on that day. यानी फर्म को ऑर्डर रिसीव हुआ था 1st जनवरी को, फर्म ने गुड्स सप्लाई की थी 20th जनवरी को, मतलब 20th जनवरी को फर्म ने गुड्स की ओनरशिप ट्रांसफ़र कर दी थी. So according to this concept, the revenue was generated on 20th January only, whether the cash is received on 1st April. So it is always considered that the revenue is generated on the day when the ownership of goods is transferred. Next is matching concept. Matching concept is important for correct determination of net profit. So to determine the net profit, all the cost applicable to the revenue of the period should be charged against that revenue. मतलब जो एक्सपेंस एक पर्टिकुलर पीरियड पे उस रेवेन्यू पे एप्लीकेबल हो रहा है उसी एक्सपेंस को हम उस रेवेन्यू के अगेंस्ट चार्ज करेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, when insurance premium is paid partly for the next year, then the part relating to the next year will be shown as expense only next year and not this year. So first revenue should be recognized and then cost incurred for generating that revenue should be recognized. According to the revenue recognition concept, when the revenue included in profit and loss account, all expenses incurred on it, whether paid or not, should be shown as expense in profit and loss account. For example, outstanding expenses. Now what are outstanding expenses? The expenses which are due to be paid. So outstanding expenses is not paid in cash but they are shown in profit and loss account. Next is objectivity concept. So according to this concept, accounting transactions should be recorded in objective manner. Objective manner means it should be free from personal bias of either management or accountant who prepares the account. And it is only possible when each transaction is supported by verifiable documents and the vouchers such as cash memos, invoices, sales bills, pay-in bills, etc. For example, goods purchased for cash must be supported by cash receipts and goods purchased on credit must be supported by a copy of invoice. Also, because of objectivity concept, the accounting transactions are recorded in the books of account on the basis of historical cost. So objectivity concept means recording of transaction which is supported by verifiable documents and voucher. So we have learned about all the accounting concept. Now we will discuss about some accounting conventions. So we'll start with the first convention, that is convention of full disclosure. It means that there should be a sufficient disclosure of information to the interested users of financial statements such as proprietor, creditors and investors. Which means sufficient disclosure of information. What kind of information? All the accounting information. Disclosure of information to the users of financial statement. Now who are the users of financial statements? Users are proprietors, creditors and investors. Also there are some facts or items which are not shown in the accounting statements So they are shown in the balance sheet by the way of footnotes. These facts are, first is contingent liability. For example, a claim of very big sum pending in a court of law against the enterprise should be brought to the notice of users of financial statements, otherwise the statement would be misleading. So this is the example of contingent liability. Second is change in method of valuation of stock or providing depreciation or making provision for doubtful debts. It should be disclosed in the balance sheet by the way of footnotes. So whatever change there is, change in valuation of stock or depreciation, they should be disclosed in balance sheet. Third is market value. So market value should be given by the way of footnote. One more important thing, disclosing material fact doesn't mean leaking out the secrets of business, but it means disclosing sufficient information. Next is convention of materiality. It is an exception to the convention of full disclosure. Now, according to this concept, items having an insignificant effect or being irrelevant to the users need not to be disclosed. These items are either left out or merged with other items. मतलब जो भी facts या जो भी items interested users के लिए irrelevant हो, वो disclose नहीं की जानी चाहिए. So it should be noted that what is material for one concern may be immaterial for another. For example, for an accountant, difference of rupees 500 in valuation of stock may be immaterial, but the difference of rupees 500 in cash could be termed material. In the same way, the cost of small tools may be material for a small repair workshop, but the same figure may be immaterial for the company limited. So the last convention is convention of conservatism or prudence. So according to this concept, all the anticipated losses should be recorded in the books of account, but all the anticipated gains or unrealized gains should be ignored. That is why it is known as the policy of playing safe. So provision is also made for all the known liabilities and losses, even though the amount cannot be determined with certainty. For example, if a company lends some amount to the debtors, so what is the guarantee that the debtor will repay the full amount to the company? So for such uncertain losses, the company makes provision from its profit to meet the uncertain losses. So we have learned all the accounting principles, including accounting concept and accounting conventions. So in the next session, we'll continue with some other topic. So that's all for today. Thank you.